And I'm a strong believer in innocent until proven guilty. I think it's really important that we don't judge people just because of an allegation. And people are so unsmart that they don't know the difference between an allegation and a crime. So I could literally say that you punched me in the stomach. I could contact the Dubai police right now and say I was with Chris and he punched me in the stomach. And then that could go in the newspaper and it would say, it could be a complete lie, and it would say, Chris Elliott allegedly punched Samuel Leeds in the stomach. If I read that in the newspaper, allegedly, I'd be thinking, well, that's not a story.
Yeah.
If it's just being said by one person, sometimes when it says allegedly, it's from an anonymous source. So I could literally tell the newspapers, Chris Elliott punched me in the stomach, and now I've got broken ribs and it's terrible. Could you please print a story about it? But don't name me. It says anonymous source, and that was in the papers.
Yeah.
Right? So I definitely am a strong believer in, unless someone's actually been convicted of something, you can't accuse someone of being guilty. So obviously there's a lot of bad allegations around Andrew, but and a lot of stuff that he says is wild. Like even the immigration stuff that I said, he wouldn't have the view I have, but just because someone might have different opinions in certain areas, and just because he's been accused of some really bad crimes, but not found, so people get upset with me for interviewing him. But I'm thinking, well, actually, he's doing me a favor because he's coming on my channel, and he's one of the most famous people on the planet, and he's not charging me.
Crazy, actually. Yeah, you could be a person. You say, if you want me, there's a lot of people on there. They're charging 10, 30, 30, 40, $50,000.
The rest. So same with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone, come on my channel many times. He's not charging me anything. Just come on. And of course, they're talking and they want to get their message out there. So yeah, so Andrew's cool. I'm meeting up with Tristan as well on Saturday. So I'm doing a podcast with Tristan, God willing. That should happen. And they're obviously around. But yeah, it was a good podcast. But he does, he's got some very strong views on stuff. But you know what? If you can sit and listen to a podcast with someone that you don't even agree with, I think it just can make you think.
Yeah.
And then you can start thinking it, and that's only a good thing. And everybody should have the freedom to say their opinion.
Yeah.
Unless you're saying something that is, there's a bomb and there's not a bomb. If you're deliberately saying, but if you're saying things that your opinion, people think and challenge it. And I've challenged him on stuff. I pressed him on some of in my last podcast that I did with him, because I'm very much an ambassador of women in business. My wife has been, as I said to you, has been a massive support for me, and she's also a quantity surveyor. So she's worked for some big companies and project managed and done the cost management of some projects for Coca-Cola and some big projects. So she's been really useful in our business and my training, my property academy and my community. 50% of the people in it are women. So I am training thousands of women, empowering them and seeing them win. So when he turns around and says things like, I can't think of exact examples, but like women can't drive, or basically, they're not as good as men in business, and they're not as, I don't really think that's that helpful, So
yeah, I get your point. He's right in some ways, but not like
totally different.
Yeah,
men and women are different for sure, and women have children and men don't, and men are stronger. If you put an average woman, an average man, and they're to fight, the man's going to come out on top, generally speaking. So I'm not trying to say men and women are the same, but there's some killers in our property community who are women, like some killers in business, some sharp killers. And I've got people in my team who are women and they're sharp killers.